what I did is I went with the medium gray and a general light coat over everything. Of course, the bucket is still removable, or the blade, I should say. The blade assembly is still removable along with the side piece here. I just put it together for the video, but I hit it with that gray and a light coat. Then what I did is I went back and I darkened the gray up a little bit, and I hit some of the shadowy areas down below, down inside the cockpit, and just any areas that were kind of shadowy, I kind of just darkened them very slightly. And then the upper areas, like on top of here, on the fenders, just different areas that are more pronounced in the sun, I did hit them with a lighter shade to resemble a bit of fading. And I know it's kind of hard to probably see in the video up close, but the tracks are also still removable, so I painted the tracks separately. You know, I hitting them with the black. Then I went over them with which color was it? I believe it was this earth red with the acryl. Everything was painted with the Model Master acryls so far, as far as the colors. I went over them with that. I hit them with a couple different shades. Somebody had asked me which washes I was talking about. It's the floor models. So I used some of the rust. I just used combinations of different things, and in fact I used it on a number of little areas. The dark dirt. I even used some of the light dirt in a few spots, or not the light dirt, but the concrete, which is a gray. And mud brown, just little combinations of in little spots in little different areas. Started to do a little bit of just a tiny amount of streaking on things. Did a little bit of weathering in the seat itself. The seat padding was painted in a lighter, I believe it was this color here, which is RAF interior green, and then I darkened it down a little bit, faded it, weathered it, and the tracks were then gone over with, just bring out the metal. I don't know if it's going to show in the light, but to bring out the metal wear pattern, I used the rub and buff, pretty much. Just a very, very tiny light coating on a high quality Q-tip that has a real tight nap that you can get. Very minute amount. I mean, I rubbed it on paper till there was almost nothing, and then brushed them lightly and brought it up, you know, out of the, you know, all the metallic little points. And so now I'm gonna, at this point, I'll go in and do some, I guess you would call it reverse chipping, where I'm gonna actually paint in chips in areas. So I'll be painting in a lighter shade first in random patterns, but somewhat, you know, sensible. And then I'll go back inside those little spots with a rust or you know, rusty and metal specked areas where you would see damage. I'm not going to go completely crazy with it, just completely chipped and rusting and like it's sitting out in a field. I want it to look like it's actually in use, but has been in use a while. And then I've got a base start on the blade with a metalizer, which I used the stainless steel buffing. It didn't quite get the sheen I was looking for. But I'm going to take some advice from a couple people from the Brotherhood that I was given on covering this with a coat of Future, and then painting over, giving it a base color with a little bit of weathering and whatnot, and then sanding back, buffing, sanding, scratching back a wear pattern on the blades, and then actually increasingly highlighting some of the small areas where it's rubbed so much that it's actually polished it to a shine. So it'll, you know, that's going to be just some more experimenting. This has all been experimentation, but that's kind of what it looks like so far. Here's the underside of it, a little greasy, a little dirtier, you know. Is that showing? Am I in the camera? Hopefully, yeah. So that's kind of the bottom of it. You can see a little bit more of the tracks there. And then just some few last little tip, things like, pencil marks, where metal is exposed from scratches, where it might have ran through brush and things like that. But yeah, as far as the question, I got these Flory Models washes. I got those from, I think I actually ordered them from Flory Models in the UK. So the shipping was a little high, but they're excellent washes. I mean, they're foolproof. I mean, you could call these beginners washes, because if you mess up, you can just take it right back off. And I mean, they do good for what they're intended for. They do a great job. And of course, I got the figure, little tiny guy there. Let me get him in the screen. Yeah, there he is. And I got to deal with this guy, and it's just all I'm going to do the best I can with it. I'm not going to go overboard. And if he comes out too messed up, I don't have to put him in there. One trick I found on this kit is that getting his hands positioned correctly. His arms are separate and everything, and to get him on the levers, it was kind of like I had to glue his arms, get him in there, and then position his arms to where they kind of actually touch the levers. And all I did was I just took some just the regular tester's glue, so I could have some time to position his arms and kind of poke and prod him around till they were actually touching the handles there, and looked like a natural position, like he belonged in there. That was the only really tricky part to this whole model. The photo etch emblem on the front, I attached that with the future glue that I've been using. I've got a video on making this stuff. It's really handy because you can glue things on top of paint, windshields. I use it for windshields, glass, and stuff like that. Since I dip all of my glass and stuff in my cars, I'll glue it with the same material. And I've done a little detail painting inside, and like some of the fittings and pipes and things, I've brought them out. The hoses are still just a shiny black. So those will be kind of dulled down a little bit and kind of, have an actual bit of, where there's been rubbing and a little dirt and a little oil dripping here and there. Just tiny little details, not going overboard. Less is more, I think, on a lot of these things. But that's pretty much the update.